Hey guys, I'm Doubleedger. I run the RE games. I usually run the classics 1 to 3. RE3 is my favorite run, and there's a lot of technique and RNG in this game. It's one of the most famous for it in the Resident Evil series. I'm joined by Josh Sandwich. If you'd like to introduce yourself, sir.
Hello, my name is Josh Sandwich. I'm a Resident Evil speedrunner as well. Edger and I run quite a lot of the same games. We both know how much of a meme RE3 can be, and I know that Edger is really looking forward to bringing this to you.
Yeah, definitely. Right. The game time doesn't start until the actual scene loads in. I'll call time as soon as that does, but as soon as I've done that, yeah, right. I'm going to use my favorite costume for good luck, and here we go.
Best of luck, buddy.
Thank you. Gonna need it. Right, time starts now.
Okay, starting out. Burning streets. Jill Valentine appears. What's the objective? Leave the city. Let's go.
So some people go for the dodge there, but I don't bother. It's very unlikely to save time there.
Yeah.
Because you get the dodge, there's a chance to aim after the dodge, and if the zombie doesn't drop, it goes to bite you, and you just lose time.
So one thing to note here right at the start is Edger is playing on what's called the Rebirth patch, which is why you're able to see his health, ammo, and the boss health up at the top there. It also incorporates a tool that we're going to utilize later on called the GL tool, Grenade Launcher tool. It basically means that we have fixed RNG for the grenade launcher and the RPD, which is handy. And you'll also notice there we get a free heal there, so that's why that first bite is you can just take it, which is quite handy.
So we're going to go to the control room to grab a key, and I'm going to introduce what's called the Deke Strat. The Deke Strat is a key that you can bind to left and right, and it will actually cancel out the dialogue. You can just pick that up early. You press yes, and it just saves you 0.25 seconds every pickup, and you can imagine over the course of the run, the amount of pickups and dialogues that we can skip, like here, it all adds up in the end, and it's just huge time save.
Yeah. All right, we're coming up to one of the first heavy reset points of the run here, which is the basement. This is famous, or infamous, sort of. So first bit of RNG there with Brad. He can appear before you get to the door, or you have to interact with it. And now we're going to see what type of zombies Edgar gets. Slow coming out of the gate. Yep.
And the bite.
Unfortunate.
This
is the door.
This is not a great one. No, classic marathon. All right, we're in.
All right, Edger got a buffer there. After being bit once, Jill has a chance of buffering a zombie, which means that she can push them off without actually taking a bite. All right, so
Edger's take the safety hit because unfortunately, I got the worst possible basement you can get.
Yeah,
you can't really control it, and him getting pushed at that door made it so I couldn't get past properly, which caused me to take multiple bites. However, we did get a nice line there.
Yeah, in true Resident Evil fashion, in a marathon, it will throw its worst RNG at us.
This game knows. If you're on pace, it's a goodbye. The game knows.
So we've got an alleyway dodge coming up here. So the zombie fell backwards, which means Edger went into the left-hand side. If it falls forwards, you go to its right-hand side. It just allows you to quickly get by. This as well, so we're basically skipping this section where you should be helping Brad, but we think, nope, Brad can help himself, so we try to leave, and Brad kills the zombie, allowing us to get the lighter.
Yeah, there's a zombie here, I need to hear.
He's not moving.
I couldn't hear him. I thought the footsteps were there, because the other one moved. Fine.
That's all good. So we've got RNG coming up here with this gate. Okay, it looks like we're getting the second worst. There's three types of RNG here. We've got the second worst, which means so Edger's already done the input. Best RNG you can get there is if the gate falls just before you get there, so you can just run up and burn the rope on the door, allowing you to go. And we're going through what's called a couple of fast gates there. We're going to talk a little bit more about how door skipping in this works, because there's a few different ways of doing it. But we're coming up to my favorite enemy and antagonist in the Resident Evil franchise, Big Nemi.
Oh yeah. So we're not even going to battle him. We're going to choose the battle option, but we're just going to run straight away. That actually saves us time, because the second option you have to wait a little cutscene there.
Yeah, you try. Yeah, so we're going to get Neymar.
Oh,
yes, we are. Hope it. Goal!
Oh dear.
All right, so we've got the first RNG-based puzzle right here, which is the evidence room locker. This has 4 different solutions that we brute force through to find. Edger got it on second solution, which is good.
in any order, but that's the optimal order for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got Misty there. Ideally, you want to pre-turn as soon as you load into the room so that you can move around her. People call her Misty. I call her T-Rex because of the way her arms move. Just reminds me of Deadpool. You know, T-Rex is the deadliest dinosaur. Alright, so we're coming in here. So you'll notice in the bottom right, it's got GL on. This is part of the rebirth patch, allowing to basically manipulate the RNG to ensure that the grenade launcher always shows up there rather than the Magnum.
The reason I took that fast there is because I'm below 160 HP. Otherwise, I wouldn't take it. It's there for safety reasons. I would, if it wasn't marathon, I probably wouldn't take it either. But you can't really risk it.
Yeah, in a normal speedrun, unless you're only just setting a time or you're quite new to the run, it's recommended that you don't take it. Alright, so we're grabbing this blue gem here on the way out. What we're going to do here is hope that this zombie...
Yeah.
Yep. Oh. Nice, okay, just dodge out the way of that. Nemesis can either fire a rocket at you there, or he can actually chase you to punch. It's ideal that he fires a rocket because it allows you just to move out of the way. So we've taken quite a bit of damage there, but it's all good. It's all good. We're out of the RPD, and we're now heading downtown.
Yep.
Thanks to us acquiring Jill's Master of Unlocking tool, the lockpick.
Yeah, just going back to the RPD because she forgot a lockpick.
Yeah, classic mistake. Alright, so at this point here, we've got some heals here. These greens could appear, could not appear. So we've got, with the gates and doors, this is the perfect time to talk about it. So door skips don't work in this game like they do in Resident Evil 1 or Resident Evil 2 OG. For example, you've got some doors which you can skip through fast. And this door coming up here is a slow door where you wait. And again, it's basically kind of waiting for the music to sync out before you skip the door. Again, here, a bit slow. It's just a little bit of a delay. It is a bit of a nightmare trying to remember all of them because every single door can either be fast or slow, including one door in particular that's later on the run, which is actually a medium door just to throw it right at you. Okay, so we've got a line here that Edger's pulling off. A wee bait and switch around that first one, allowing you to pull up around those 3 zombies. Easily done. Well done there, Edger. That was a nice move.
Got lucky. The good RNG.
Alright.
Since we got the Faz.
It's all good. It's all good. You can pop that fast just before you grab the second one at the press.
Yeah. Yep.
Alright.
We're going to go into the basement.
Yep.
The second basement.
So that character there is Carlos Oliveira, part of the UBCS, sent in to evacuate civilians. Obviously that didn't go so well, and now we've actually met up with him. We're going to meet up with another couple of people from the squad. But Carlos thinks of himself as a bit of a ladies' man. We just laugh at him and carry on.
Yep. All the fucking ladies apparently go crazy for his accent. Oh, I thought I had the red dodge.
That's one. That's one because he turboed.
That's one. Yeah, that's one. Yeah, so for every turbo zombie I get bit by, to a cap of $50, I'm going to donate $2 per bite. I can still get buffers, so they don't count, but yeah, I should probably use that now.
Yeah, use one of them now.
Right.
So
we push this 11 times. You can count 11, but as soon as it hits here, it's like 3 more pushes.
You can count 11, or you can do... if you hang on to the far, so the right hand, if you're using Jill's perspective, the far right hand side of what you're pushing, if Jill is right on that right hand side, she'll stop pushing once it hits the wall, allowing you to just climb up onto it, and that is still the amount of push you need to do it.
I think you can still end up climbing off the edge though, so you've got to be careful and be right into the button.
Yeah.
I think it has happened to me before, so which is why I don't do it.
Okay, so big zombie over there didn't turbo, he just kind of waltzed over towards Jill, so that's all good. And now at this point, we've got the gems that we need that allow us to progress further into Raccoon City. So at this point, Edger, I'm going to ask you, like, what was it that made you want to run Resident Evil 3 originally? What inspired you to run this game? So I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil games, and I used to watch the OG legends in this when they first ran it. Paul Pursuit, Orchelon, Super Gamer, etc, etc. And I always loved the speedrun for this. It was so much RNG to deal with, but it made the run fun. Like, it's, you know, no two runs are the same sort of thing.
RNG, but
yeah,
it adds variety, and it's just such a fast-paced run as well. There's no point where there's any like real downtime. Because one of the so we got we would consider pretty good RNG here. So this room, like nearly every room, has RNG to it, tied to it, and that's all down to zombie placement. Another big bit coming up here: will we get zombies or dogs?
We've got zombies. So what's going to happen here? This is slower than dogs, but we're guaranteed now to not take damage here, because if we got dogs, that fire that Edger just ran past, there's a dog that jumps out of that flame, but if he doesn't jump out when Edger's going there, it means that the dog will be aggressive on the way back, so Edger may potentially get damaged. But we've got zombies, which is a little bit slower, and now we've got something that Carlos found in the bin outside, which allows us to now carry 2 more items. So we're going to pick up the wrench here and move back into the city. So our new objective now is to basically get that train car working to evacuate the city and get to the clock tower area. So Edger is now on a mighty quest, while the rest of the UBCS get a table, get a deck of cards, and play poker.
Right, so this is very R&D heavy. The next one coming up, we've got to go to the statue. These guys can turbo a lot, which I'm very surprised they didn't.
They didn't, yeah.
We have to get not the first zombie that comes out, but the second one. Otherwise, the knockdown even worse. So not that guy, but this one here.
This one
knock
here.
all the zombies down. It's not great.
Not great, but it did clear. You cleared a path at least, because sometimes they can actually fall in a way that you can't actually pass them. So that's fine there. So 2 bites is okay. Not best, not great.
But not bad.
Yeah, not great, not terrible. So we're heading back now. So this door was a fast door, and it's now a slow door. So that's an example. Some doors can actually change how quick you can skip through them. Carlos running away.
Right, so we need to use the book that we just got from the statue to put it into this wall. If we don't, the electric currents in the water will activate them right there on the lady statue, and it will block you from leaving. You just can't get past it.
Okay,
we need that.
Yeah.
Going back to the statue.
Yep. So
now
the zombies here are all reset. That one you just run by. This one here can sometimes move, but he didn't, which is good. And this one is at a position, right? If you're on a different axis from a zombie, so for example stairs. So we got dogs here. That just means a little wide line around them. Nicely done, Edger. Zombies will puke rather than grab, meaning that you can just blitz right past them. So Edger's going to pop this stone slab in, shoot that zombie to try and manipulate him, to move to that wall.
None of them have come in, which is concerning.
A little bit. Oh! Perfect.
Freebie, thank you, game. That means we're getting our cook here. We're getting big here.
Alright, get around him, that's all good. So let's see if Edger can get this.
He left the wall. It's called the rare dodge. I thought I had it, but not quite. But we got lucky with that one.
Yeah. It's all good. Plus, you've still got that fast, haven't you?
Yep, we still got the fast. It needs to be used, but if I don't need to use it at this point, I will use it at the wrench.
So optimally here, putting the battery in as you make the line, you kind of curve into the battery point. And here, there's 2 different RNG. So I think, no, we've got the bad RNG here. Yeah.
No. So we have to take them out.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can turbo, which is really bad.
Okay. So this is where we're going to just activate one of the shutters here. The password is red, blue, blue, blue. This will get our fuse. If you are not using the grenade launcher tool, or if you're wanting to get the Magnum, you would input another password there, which is red, 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 blue, which opens up the other shutter. Nice.
Got the music skip.
We've got the music skip, so that is skipping a cutscene on the exact frame that it starts, ensuring that the music doesn't play. This will allow us to skip through this door quickly. Very nicely done, Edger.
It saves us about 0.5 seconds to a second, I think.
Everything adds up. Everything adds up. So we've got Nemesis here with his rocket launcher. And RU3 enjoys taking away.
So he's chasing us here. The boss health, nothing to note in the top right corner. If there's 800 boss health or any boss health at all, that means the enemy is loaded into the room. So Nemi is here. He will chase us, which means the door after this one will not be a quick change, because it will still load the audio.
Breeze through that though easily, and we're heading back now to pick up a fire hose. This will allow us to access a part of the game that we have already ran past, but it was all on fire, which is the pharmacy, which is another heavy reset point of this run. You're going to hear that probably quite a lot in the scope of this run. This is a very reset heavy point coming up here.
Some people use the fuzz here. I'm going to use it when I use the item, just because a specific brain sucker likes to hit me on the way fast. So I want to optimize it as much as I can with the health.
Yeah,
and of course, he gave us the bad look.
Position that he's in. Yep.
Thank you.
So sometimes if you go into caution, it's not worth healing straight away. Okay, so we got dogs there rather than zombies. That's good. It means that Edger can actually take a more direct line straight to the door. So we're going to use the fast there, and then fire extinguisher. Or fire hose, sorry, I should say.
Fire hose, yeah. Right, there can be 1 of 3 passwords. We always go for Sasprin because it's the one that everyone's used to typing and it's easy accessible on the edge of the keyboard. The next one's Adravil and then Aquacure. Those are harder to type. And it just generally, each one you get incorrect adds about 12 seconds roughly.
Aquacure always being the worst one. If you are doing a general speedrun of this and you get Aquacure, it's usually a reset point. Not always, but it can be. Alright, so let's see if we get the wonderful Sasprin. Oh,
of course, we don't get Sasprin. Oh, here we go. Please, Adravil.
Hey, okay, that's good at least. So a little bit of trivia about Adravil. It is 1 character less than the other 2 passcodes, but the developers never done like an error check for that, so you can put any other character in at the end, so like Adravili or anything like that, and it will still go through as Adravil. Just a little interesting fact. All right, so here now the pharmacy escape. Good luck. A lot of zombies wanting to munch on Jill's booty. Unfortunate. Oh, didn't get the buffer either. That's fine though. Through we are. Oh, unfortunate. That's all good though. Yeah. You can, because that first corridor that he was in can go wrong really quickly. So to only get 2 bites there is not too bad at all.
Right, so we're going to end up on our way back, go back with head to the train area, but first we got to get 1 final key item, which will, on the y-axis, will take the right line instead, and that'll take us to the gas station where we need to get the fuel.
Yeah, so we've got 1 more, basically 2 more components that we need to actually pick up, including a sub-component, which I always call, which is the crank, which will allow us access to the gas station. But 1 of them we're picking up here, so we've got crows coming in. They don't pay no mind to them, they're just a nuisance more than anything. So we're going to pick up the, electricity wire.
Yeah, oops.
Got a cutscene here, kind of pointless. Literally just...
Very important to know, if you do not choose the first option, you basically lost 10 to 20 seconds because you have to go, it takes you back outside under a sewer that you come out of a manhole, and it just, it's time loss.
What that is, if you choose the second option, is just it's basically a prelude to a boss enemy that we are going to see. That's all it is. It's just foreshadowing. There's no other rhyme or reason to picking the second option. Basically, in a speedrun of this, you're choosing the first option for everything except for the very last choice. Okay, so heading through this corridor again, straight line. He's not moving, which is good, and into the safe room.
That gives me an opportunity to fail the dodge that's coming up. Because I've got 104 HP. If I'm going to take the Faz anyway, because I'm below 160, but this is good though. It means I'm not in caution.
Yeah, so we've got the dogs here just munching away, so Edger's going to try and do this strat here. Nicely done. Didn't get it cameraless, but still nice. Still nice.
I've only gotten that twice. And it's more dangerous to do that. Because the big turbo will actually grab you most of the time.
So here we're going to use... we're going to use the crank, but unfortunately cranks in Raccoon City aren't made really well and it broke, but good thing we've still got the wrench.
Imagine we had to sit through this entire little bit here, just slowly drinking it.
The entire, there's no skip, it's just the entire thing. Oh god. I think
some RNG coming up.
Run it. Yeah, basically a nice little game of lights out coming up here. Edger, do you want to go into it, or do you want me to?
Yeah. So basically, this is any combination. This is good. No, sorry, that's good because we can just press 2 of them instead of 3. Don't like those ones. But we can handle it. So yeah, with those lights go up, you just got to match the one that's highlighted, and they can put lights on some of them that aren't. You've basically got to get it just highlighting the one key that comes up. The best RNG is when you only have to move them twice instead of multiple times. I think the best you can get is 1. Yeah, you can lose a lot of times. You are allowed to pause the game in the speedrun, so some people get the combinations out because there's a lot to remember. I just wing it.
Yeah. True runners wing it. No pausing.
True runners also do not hit the F9 button.
Right, just don't even look at it, Edger. Okay. Honestly, not too bad though. We're just about done with Raccoon City. You've only had one turbo bite.
Nice. Gotta be careful here. We do not want to get hit by the worm. There's a lot of damage and a lot of time loss.
So this is the Gravedigger worm. Basically, this is a showcase of what happens to the T-virus when it infects. Oh, I think you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah,
you pushed me a little bit, but we got through. That's bad RNG.
The T-virus can infect things and have different results. I believe that was originally a maggot that was infected that got the T-virus and has grown exponentially. Okay, so now we're done. So we're just going to put the 3 parts in that we need. Just do a combination there to get the proper machine oil and the wire. Oh, something's happened at the back of the train though. Mikhail spilled the spaghetti sauce and it lured Nemesis in.
Hi, Nemesis.
So a lot of people in their casual playthrough might think you have to fight him there, but yeah, you just turn around and interact with the door, and Mikhail will kill you out. And here comes the most realistic choice anyone would make in this situation.
This is realistic. It's completely realistic. No problems at all. You'd survive that.
I love that if you play this with the cutscenes on, it cuts directly to a cutscene of the train crashing, and it is going at speed.
It's going at a lot of speed. Oh, okay, we got the good luck then.
So
the double good luck. Here. Okay, so early powders. Basically, we need early powders to skip Carlos for a bit, so we get like 12 seconds just because he tries to give you something. If our inventory's full, we won't do it. We'll just meet him up and skip him. However, we do have to mix this so it's not completely optimal because I need one ring because of Faz.
Oh, right, I was going to say just use the Faz, but fair play.
Oh, I will not use the Faz here. Not yet. Just because of what's coming up. So this means we can completely skip this interaction and leave immediately.
Got music skip as well, which means that door is a fast skip. And we press through. So what Edger was actually picking up there, those are powders. We only need to utilize them a couple of times in the run. It's basically to create different ammo types. And what Edger's going to create here is ice rounds, which you'll put into the grenade launcher. Ice rounds are your best bet against Nemesis, especially for the fight coming up. Edger, you said you're more used to using fire rounds, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm used to I usually get really bad RNG. I'm just probably one of the most unlucky runners when it comes to RNG. Flame rounds basically...
And there's another.
Oh, here we go. Yep. Speaking of bad RNG, you randomly lose 2.5 seconds because Nemi decided to scream.
Here's our introduction.
But here's the real
spiders.
RNG here. This can be anywhere between 1 change and 6 change. 1 change and 6 change being extremely rare, but we want 1 change.
Or if you're me, you can get a 3 change and turn it into a 6 change.
We got a 2 change. Not bad. That's
nice.
The second best RNG. Let's see if I'll turn that into a 4 change. It's very easy to mess inputs up on this.
Okay. So this is always a fixed solution, which is up, down, up, up, down, up on PC. On PlayStation, it's actually randomized, but here on the PC version, it is always fixed. The solution is not the pins.
You can actually get a clue to what this is in the main room. It has like there's 2 sides of the staircases, and it gives you the solution. So runners check that on the PS version because they have to. On this, it's a set one like Josh said before.
Just mix the 2 key items there. So you can mix that at any point before you actually need to use it. You use it in a door that's downstairs. I usually mix it right when I'm at the door. Edger mixes it there, but it doesn't really, it doesn't matter. And again, first choice here. Nemesis goes bye-bye. And that door there...
Yeah, I was just about to say, to note that door, it's that's the only one that's a medium change. You do it as soon as the door loads in, whereas the rest have got like a set on it. Yeah, let's hope the doors and spiders are nice to me.
Oh, I thought he was looking right at you there, shifty-eyed.
Right, so we've got 5 o'clock, which is the worst RNG, which is Crystal Obsidian Armor going left.
So this puzzle right here has 6 different solutions to it, the fastest being 11 or 9. You're basically, the middle clock is going to be, determines what order you're putting the gems into each clock.
Had a little brain melt there.
We're aiming to get the clock to go to midnight.
So getting 11 o'clock is the fastest because it means the least amount of turning on the clock. This one had the most because it went all the way around. So you ideally want as close to 11 o'clock as possible. And the solutions also change depending on the time. But one wrong input, that costs you about 5-6 seconds every time.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, we also got nice spider coming out there. Usually that spider can actually spit like really quickly, and it usually results in a poison. But Edger was fine, and we move on here. So now we're going to basically get the clock tower working.
Just gonna do a bit of many management here. He says as he examines the grenades. Better than putting that cog in.
I was going to say, at least you didn't go coggers.
Yeah, we call the cogs coggers because they can absolutely cost you a lot of time. I've lost 9 seconds to them before. It's brutal.
So this fight coming up casually is very dangerous because you're in the caution state the entire time. You don't know what your health is at. Luckily you do. It's a mandatory fight against Nemesis. Nemesis has infected Jill with the T-virus at this point, but Jill's not going down without a fight. Very nice fight.
Not bad, not bad. I dropped an input, but
yeah.
so I caused him to take a rocket damage. But yeah, we were well above, and we get a free heal after this anyway, so we can keep the Faz for later.
Exactly. But at this point, yeah. So so it's went from September 28th to October 1st now. Jill's been out of it for a few days, so this is where it now time jumps to after the events of Resident Evil 2. So Resident Evil 2's happened at this point, and now we're still in the city. Jill is infected, and Carlos is going to rescue her no matter what. So now we're playing as Carlos, and we're off to the hospital. Oh.
Okay, so to note, we switched to our single-hand weapon because we run faster with one weapon, and we're going to be doing a lot of maneuvering as Carlos. Wow, we got the bad RNG. We got very bad RNG. Very bad RNG. Leave me alone!
Okay, I think we're going to be grabbing that hospital fast.
Yep. I'm definitely taking that fast.
Okay, so it's just 2 pushes on that bell there. If you try and interact with it as Jill, it will say that Jill can't move it. Nah. But yeah, so Carlos is able to push it out of the way, and now we're at the hospital, and we're going to get introduced to a staple monster in the franchise.
Yeah, so to note, I'm going to take the Faz because if I drop into caution around any of these guys, which you'll see just about now, you'll take my head off.
Yep.
They go for a kill swipe. They either take your throat out or they take your head off completely. So I'm going to take this for safety reasons. Most people just leave it. I would probably leave it and risk it because it's time loss, but yeah, it's very dangerous to do, so...
Better to be safe than sorry.
Definitely, definitely.
Okay. So we're going to use the tape recorder here to activate this elevator to allow us to traverse the floors. So we're going to be going to the 4th floor first, and we're hoping that it's quiet when the doors start opening.
If we've got zombies, that's very bad news, especially on my health right now.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay,
very good.
Nice. Okay.
Right.
So, do you want me to go into this next thing coming up?
Yep. Probably worth mentioning YOLO Carlos as well, because I'm going to do it.
That's exactly what I'm about to go into. So we've got a puzzle coming up here, which involves Carlos having to push a cabinet to a corner of a room that will open up a painting for a safe. We're going to do what's called the YOLO Carlos. So, all right. So Edger is actually going to try and go for the best RNG here, which is 531. So that's pushing it up to the top left corner here. So you've got a 50-50 chance of what side it's going to be on, then you've got a 50-50 chance on what side. And unfortunately, we've got zapped. Yep. So the solution is going to be 253 instead.
Yeah. This is the third best RNG because it still have to maneuver around a lot. It's better to get bottom left than top right. So the RNG is mixed. So it's not push it, Carlos. So it's not. It's not all doom and gloom if it's facing the opposite direction, but if it's 1 or 4, yeah, it's the worst RNG.
Yeah. A little bit unfortunate, but it's still okay. So, YOLO Carlos, in a lot of cases for speedrunners, can actually make or break a run. So it is something, and a general speedrun that is like a very critical part of the run. We unfortunately weren't as lucky there, but it's all good. We've got one part of the vaccine now, and we're heading to the basement. So this is where we actually want zombies to appear. Perfect.
Yep. Classic. There we go. Perfect.
Oh. Okay, we got the buffer. That's nice. Okay.
He goes for a swipe, but he's usually pretty easy to dodge. Oh, my pizza didn't like something.
So we've got a couple of different looking hunters looming in those tanks there. Those are called Hunter Gammas. A different form of hunters are kind of frog-like giant mouse. If you're in caution, rather than cutting your head off, they will swallow you whole. It is quite a fun animation.
They can still. I think that's a rarer one because they can still go for a kill swipe.
Yeah.
Because when they leap, they'll just swipe at you and it takes the head off as well. But
so that puzzle there is a very rare puzzle again, where it's actually a fixed solution every time, which is 1-3A. Okay, we're heading back out now. We just get around these hunters. So it could either be zombies or hunters in this room. Because it's zombies, we literally just shoot the bomb straight away. If it's hunters, we have to kind of bait the hunters to come a little bit closer to the bomb. And it's very dangerous. I hate getting hunters in that room personally. Nice. No swipes. Swiper, no swiping.
Right, so Nikolai doesn't like us, so he set a bomb in there to explode the hospital and remove all evidence of Umbrella. And trying to kill Carlos in the meantime as well. That's the only surviving member, of his unit.
So it is revealed, if you're playing it casually, that Nikolai is a member of the Watchers. Basically, like a special task force in Raccoon City there to actually evaluate combat data. Nikolai's on a warpath to kill all the other Watchers so that he can get paid more, basically. And now, like Edger said, he's trying to kill everyone else as well.
And he's also not impressed here. So he doesn't want us to cure Jill, so he's trying to kill Carlos now, but he doesn't do a very good job on it. Also,
good job getting there on 105. Like, didn't have to use it fast at least, which is good. All right. That's Jill back on her feet. So at this point now we're switching out the reload tool for the knife and leaving.
Nemesis going to pop through here. I'm just going to tap right and left when I go past him. Easy pass. And since we got freeze rounds, we need to pick this up. As we do no longer have enough from... we just don't have enough ammo to deal with it without it. But we don't have to pick up the rounds here. Oops.
Oh, unfortunately there. There's always little things that you can interact with by accident if you hit the accept button at the wrong time.
I used to do a thing because you can hold act in this game, which gives you the first available frame on any door, any door or object you interact with. I used to constantly spam it for a couple of months, and you can basically get carpal tunnel if you do that.
Yeah.
Nice. That's the second turbo I've been bitten by.
Yeah.
Get it up, please. Thank you.
So that's 2 turbos. Basically, getting bit by him though and activating him means it's kind of, unless you got a dodge on him, it's not going to happen. Hunters here, yeah. Unfortunate.
Right, so zombies here is bad. They can turbo like that and instantly turn and grab, but luckily we got around them.
Okay, we want dogs.
Thank you. Yes, at least it gives us the bad, good RNG. So the bad RNG would be zombies on that bridge instead of hunters, and hunters in here, which are harder to maneuver.
Harder to maneuver, and they can also interrupt you as you're trying to pick up that key if they get close enough. Nice though, nice. That was clean enough getting through there. Okay, so now we're going up to another a cog puzzle here. Let's see if Edger pulls an Edger.
Hoping not.
So this is another fixed solution. There we are. So it's basically just moving them all, moving them to the opposite parts in order to drain this pool.
It is worth noting that any mistake that's made in like a menu or anything like that is not. Most of the time it probably is, but there's a lot. It can happen a lot where the input you'll be putting too many in and it doesn't register it because this game I think it's still runs at 30 FPS in the game, but 60 in the menus, so it'll take less inputs.
Nice ladder grab there.
Yeah, that's the worst trigger in the game. Even holding act, you can still miss it. I think you've got to turn at a specific angle. But we got it.
Okay, so we're heading into this area now. We've just passed through a cemetery. Quaint.
Faz, I have to do an extra menu here.
So just early mixing of the powders into acid rounds, which is fine. Going to grab this pipe here. And Jill, with her detective skills, knows that, oh, there's a fire here. I'm just going to light this up. Oh,
I think we actually receive a note for when we pick up the key for this cabin, telling them about a secret. It's a stars. It's a umbrella.
It's a umbrella watcher's cabin, basically. So this is where a watcher was conducting operations.
Yeah, and considering Jill is an ex-stars member, she has quite good investigation skills as well as survival skills.
Jill's badass. Straight up.
Oh yeah, Jill's badass.
So we're going to grab this small key here and leave. Get a cutscene which resets our positioning in the room and then leave again.
I really don't talk to him.
Yeah, we just tell him to shut up and go away. And we've got a boss fight coming up here, so I'm going to be quiet for a second just to allow Edger to concentrate on one cycle. Unfortunate.
So now we're just going to go for a 2-cycle. Hopefully there's a free rise.
So what Edger was trying to do there is called a 1-cycle. It is based on 2 different things. The RNG of the Gravedigger, because the Gravedigger could lunge at you quickly, which is what it did, or slow. As well as that, you have to basically pull off, how many quick shots is it in a row?
You need to do... oh no! Too early, so... Right, there we go.
Nice.
So we've got to use 9 of our shots to kill him because it does 90 damage. So it just brings us over the brink of his HP level. But that's considered a bad 2-cycle win because we can't control it. But he rose, well, apart from the end when I fired too early, he rose a bit from the ground far too many times. Nice.
Nice.
So yeah, so you can get anywhere between, I think it's a 2 rise on a 2-cycle worm or a 5 rise. We got the worst RNG.
Got the worst, but it's fine. Yeah, typical, but that's marathon luck with this game.
Right, let's go.
Okay, so
I've had no bites so far on this bridge. Nice.
Nicely done. All right, now we just need to get by the dogs, and then we're heading up to the last area of the game, aptly called Dead Factory. So Resident Evil 2, as we saw in the last run with the amazing Joydon running, had a lab. This has a rundown factory.
It's usually used to dispose of Umbrella's experiments.
It's also a test site.
The Dead Factory.
Yeah.
It links all the way from the sewers to the RPD as well. So it all connects Resident Evil 2 and 3.
Alright. And we...
Set up quite well here. Good skip Carlos, we don't care what he has to say, unfortunately.
Are you going to grab that?
That fast as well? Yep, of course I am. We can get some bad RNG in the sewers and I want to be prepared. Because they can literally stun lock you to death.
Steam room here, the Steam won't actually hurt you, but you just need to open up a way so that you can interact with this console. That was good there, getting it on 1. You can actually get it without getting like set back by the Steam at all, but it kind of, I think it's random. Usually 1 is like the optimal there. So that's 1/2 of what we need to do to open up the way through to a special room, a very special room that holds a special place in our heart. So we're going to open up this here. That's a fast door going in, slow going out. Get the modisc and then reset the room. Basically what we're doing there is ensuring that the zombies go to their set positions rather than walk at us like a horde.
Yeah, and, if you try and go through there, you're going to take a couple of bites and that's too risky considering what's coming up. So we can get bad RNG here, which we want worms. We do not want hunters here.
All right, so here we go.
Oh,
nice. Okay, so
we're basically set up on health for the rest of the run, provided acid and Nemi goes right.
If hunters appear in here, you pray. Like, that's the best advice. Pray and get to the other side as quickly as possible.
They're free on the way out, but
yeah, they're free on the way out, but the way in is terrifying. So this puzzle here, infamous in the classic Resident Evil games, and worst solution.
Worst solution possible. So basically that means we have to input 8 times, whereas the opposite, which would be high empty, we only put in 4 times. So just skip that. Mid empty is left 4.
Yep. And right
2 and left 2.
And while you're inputting this solution, do not hit the third option at any point, otherwise you're locked in to watch your wrong solution be put up, and your run is dead.
Also, it's worth noting, I know we haven't mentioned this, and we should have probably mentioned it at the start, but we run in the Taiwanese and Chinese version because the text scrolls faster, and that saves us like a good chunk of time over the run. But with that, you can also make mistakes. Like, you can easily like slip on the shift key or whatever you've got your key bound to and run, and that will also cancel you out of the menu. That was unfortunate. That's RNG, whether they grab you or not. Every time you go past, they have a chance.
Tying into what Edger said there, Capcom games, especially in the late 90s, had a thing where they load one character at a time quickly, but with it being English text, it would be a lot more characters registering on screens, which is tying into what Edger said there. So less characters to load in, allowing us for quicker skip-throughs of text. And Nikolai dying off camera because we skipped it. Put in the modisc, and here we go. Right.
So I need the silence for this fight, but I'll explain what's going on. So Nemi's going to appear, and we have to take him out before we can leave the room. We've got acid valves. Nemi will hit one of them by accident when Jill dodges, and that will result in him being hit by acid, therefore giving us a hint on how to deal with the fight. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for 2 steps to the first valve, and then once that's happened, we hit the valve, and then move 1 space away on quick turn. That'll ensure we don't get hit by early acid, and it will also mean, if it happens, and it will also mean Nemi will get hit. Then once that's happened, we run to the second valve immediately, wait for him to say stars and hit the valve. Do not quick turn on the second valve, otherwise it goes bad. Right, here we go.
Best of luck.
Third valve is RNG. You just want to pray he goes for a swipe. Oh, he's moving back. Get in there, get in there. There we go. I'd rather do that because that's quicker than having to bait him into another valve. But generally, that's an okay fight. That was pretty good. The best one is to be in position of where the card here falls out. But other than that, Uzo recovered quite well.
Not bad at all. You survived.
For some reason, this is the loudest noise in the game.
So basically, where we are right now, for context, is a giant garbage chute. And the timer counting down to that is basically the floor is going to open up and there's like acid below, which is what Nemi's body falls into, but it is not the last we see of him.
So you probably wouldn't want to equip this gun. It's a one-handed gun for some reason, so we equip it there and then. Saves menu optimizations for later. Oh, nice turbo. That didn't turbo though, so that's not the point.
No, that's all good.
Oh no! Oh. Passes the point from the turbo. Oh, damn it, the turbos. Oh, no, that's not bad. So I got 3 in total now, I think.
Yep, 3 in total.
Okay.
Alright, we're going to get Super Gamer line here, so we need to see like what lineup these zombies are going to take.
Oh, I always get flustered when that menu doesn't come up properly. Oh, typical.
Super Gamer line.
Typical.
Oh, no, we're all good, we're all good. Just a little bit of a pause there. Okay, so final bit of the game coming up here. We've basically got kind of like a radar that's telling us how far away the missile is from impacting the city.
This is one of the... I'd say it's one of the easiest boss fights, but it's you can screw up doing the 1 cycle. If you do that, you can die very easily if you don't play it normally, but generally it's not a tough fight once you've got how it works down. When he's doing the... When you want to get 1 cycle, it's the first. It's not the first shot that comes out of this cannon, but the second one. The first one does no damage; it's just visual effect. But the second one, if Nemesis is under 200 HP, or I think it's 205, it will be hit on the first shot, and that's it. That's the fight done.
Also,
if you're above it, that's a 2 cycle. You got to wait for it to cycle again.
So just a side note here, this is also the best boss theme in Resident Evil history, and I will not take any other argument. So if you've got if you've got any dancing emotes, I want to see them in the chat because
I'd say Hunk comes second in the remake for the sound that they got for him when you're trying to escape, but this takes it for the classics.
Also, in a lore perspective, watching in this room as well, that is a Mr. X Tyrant, Tyrant from Resident Evil 2, which Nemesis was chomping on basically to gain substance.
Yeah, it's just basically to recover his HP that he's, his fake HP that got dropped, but yeah. So we want to hope here that he does not drop down early. Oh, of course. I'm being berated with the bad R&D here.
Well, do you know, I was gonna say don't say anything, but you did, so... Okay,
so...
He's got plenty of healing, but this makes this fight very dangerous because Nemesis is going to zone in on you. You need to go up the way that Nemesis has dropped down, so trying to get by him is going to be a bit of a nightmare. So he's spitting acid, and if he gets close, he'll start attacking you with tentacles, and he'll try and do a lunge attack, which will do a lot of damage.
Oh, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out.
Okay, so that's the lunge attack there, but good thing Edric out of the way. Nice quick shots there with the mine launcher. Acid rounds out. Nice dodging as well. Oh. Okay, so 245, so 5 pistol shots should do it. We've got the cannon about to fire here again. Just make sure you're out of the way because you can die. And that's all good. So now all Edger has to do is lure Nemesis into that little area, and it's a wrap. We should be good. We should be good. Yeah, he's coming. Come on, Nemi.
Oh!
Oh.
And that is a wrap for the Nemesis.
Good night, Nemi.
What time are we on for the run?
I will just double check.
We're currently at 44 minutes.
There we are.
44 minutes was that.
Is there any?
Yeah.
Is there any time for any donations, or are you?
Oh yeah. Perfect time now. Perfect time. There's nothing important.
Okay. So a little while ago, we had $1 from Zopni, who says Realm is the best host EU. Thank you very much. That seems like a compliment until you learn I'm the only EU staff member for SS4C. Then we had $1 from Zopni, who asked, "Is there a glitch showcase or something cool in this game?"
Oh. So this game is the something cool of this game.
This like unit is cool itself.
Then we had $5 from Nodge, maybe, who says, "For two of my favourite people coming together for this event." And then we had $3 from Zopni, who says 1337. And yes, our donation total is now $1,337.
Hell yeah.
Thank you very much, guys.
Very elite.
Appreciate you doing that.
All right, and that's us. Jill
And
gave
time
Nemesis
will-
stars.
I'll call time in now. That's time.
GG, Edger. Congratulations.
Oh,
That was a solid run. Hit with some bad RNG at different points, but that was a very solid run. And a great final Nemi fight as well, and a great acid Nemi. GG.
Yeah, no. But yeah, just want to shout out the Resident Evil 3 community as well. They're a great bunch of people. They do have their ups and downs with arguing with each other a bit, but you know, no community is perfect. But yeah, just for them, they're always very helpful. If anyone wants to ever pick up the run, there's resources on the Speedrun.com website and link to the Discord where you'll get help like pretty much immediately most of the time. But yeah. Also want to thank Josh for helping me with the commentary today. Excellent streamer, excellent speedrunner. Please do check him out.
You're too kind, and it was my absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
No, all good, all good.
Oh,
yeah.
Honestly, you're all in for a treat as well, folks. This ending music is great.
So just running this, it'll give us the real in-game time. We get to listen to this amazing soundtrack. After all of the hardcore elements that have come up in this game, we get this.
Solid Snake in the chat. Well done, Edger, for both the run and having to listen to Josh for 45 minutes.
Thank you, Snake. Thank you, Snake. another great streamer in the chat, guys, as well. He actually runs Metal Gear Solid games. For those that are interested in Metal Gear Solid.
But yeah, just going back to what Edger said there, there's so many Resident Evil streamers, whether it's classic or modern games. Sometimes a lot of the speedrunners will run both. Everyone that I've ever met in the community is always so friendly, welcoming, ready to share tips. You've got so many resources available to you: SRTs, auto splitters, guides. These are great games to get into for running. A lot of RNG to deal with, but it really does teach you a lot about running classic games, especially tank controls. And would definitely recommend, if you're interested, checking out Doubleedger. He's a great runner. Check out the Resident Evil Discord. You'll get all the resources and help you need.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And once again, a big thank you to this marathon for letting Edger showcase this amazing game.
Yeah, thank you a lot for the SS4C stuff. Really appreciate you guys accepting my run and giving me a chance to show off one of the most amazing RNG-filled games in the Resident Evil series.
It's not a problem at all. That was a really, really, really good run. I really enjoyed it. We just got Sorry, I was going to say we just got a $3 donation from Nez that says "Hi GL." A little bit late on that one, I suppose, because the run's over. But thank you for the donation nonetheless.
I didn't quite catch that. Was that sorry?
He just said "Hi GL." Hi, good luck.
GL. Thank you very much, dude. Like, you really appreciate it. I thought the GL. I just think of grenade launcher.
Yep, that's what I was thinking as well. High grenade launcher.
Yeah, for those that are interested, why we use a grenade launcher tool. There's a big argument back in the day about whether it was allowed or not. Basically, your run was determined with a 50-50 chance of the RPD alone. So you do all that basement with the heavy resetting, and you get up to the RPD, and it turns out when you got a great basement, here you go, here's a Magnum. That adds 1 or more minutes to your run, and it's impossible to world record with.
Yeah. Also, GG and only 3 turbo bites, Edger, as well. I've got the final count there. So 3 bites total and a 45-21. GG.
Oh, that's not bad for the amount of crap I got in that run.
Not bad at all. Congratulations, buddy. Great run.
Very much, thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed the run. But yeah, I speedrun these on I'd say every other couple of days. But yeah, definitely appreciate you guys for allowing us to showcase this. So 3 bites, was it?
3 bites, yeah.
I'll just round it up. I'll put it to $10. $10 donation. Yeah, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure.